Former Cincinnati City Councilman and federal inmate Jeff Pastor is seeking a pardon from President Trump and redemption now that he is out of prison.
Pastor spoke candidly today to David Winter on the 5-year anniversary of his arrest. So David, why is he speaking out now?
He says simply, it's time. Pastor appears ready to move on from his arrest and incarceration and recreate himself. He has big aspirations, and that begins with a pardon for his federal crimes.
I believe that I deserve mercy, and that mercy in form of a pardon is very important to me because I would like to further the work that I've been doing with this passion and vigor that I've had because of my mistake.
I walked with Jeff Pastor outside City Hall, a place that gave him influence and privilege, and then took it all away when he was arrested on federal corruption charges.
It's your first time back?
This is my first time back, and that's the God's honest truth.
What's it like being out in front of City Hall?
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Remember, this is 5 years.
It was November 2020 when federal agents showed up at his home. I mean, they came and they banged on the door. Yeah. You answered the door. What did they say? Initially, I thought they had the wrong person. I said, well, maybe you're thinking about the guy down the street. I was, delirious, just waking up, trying to shake it off. I said, no, you're the guy we're looking for. So. And do you remember the looks on your kid's face and your wife? Did they say what's going on? Absolutely, fear. Pastor was originally accused of taking $55,000 in bribes for pledging his support on council for a real estate project. He pleaded guilty to 1 count of honest services wire fraud, admitting to taking a $15,000 bribe. A judge sentenced him to 2 years in prison. One of the first people he saw when he arrived at FCI Ashland was former fellow councilman P.G. Sittenfeld, also convicted on federal corruption charges. So it was a relief, but it was just like, I can't believe that this is our story. And what did he say to you? Nothing much. It's one of those things where it's just like, what is there to say? We're stripped of everything: dignity, fame, in my case, fortune, families. He says it was that time in prison that gave him the passion to make a comeback. Coming that close to emotional death and that pain of not being with your family, and seeing men ripped from their families, and the poverty that I saw when I returned back, I can't begin to describe how thankful I am. Thankful, he says, for the fire that was lit inside of him, giving him the passion to want to serve his community again, either for a nonprofit or perhaps even on city council. How could you possibly expect the voters to bring you back to City Hall after you were removed in such a horrible way? I am more closely aligned to being a great leader because of my failure.
You think you can make a difference here?
Absolutely. I've already done so. It's time to make an even bigger difference.
Pastor says that he takes responsibility for his actions, but he says he never thought he was committing a crime. He says he thought the developer, an FBI informant, was offering him a job. Kyle?
All right, David Winter leading us off tonight. David, thank you so much. And when Jeff Pastor was removed from office, a judge replaced him with another Republican, Steve Gooden. We spoke today with Gooden about Pastor's aspirations to get a pardon and to get reelected to City Council.
I really hope that he goes and finds some sort of policy role, something in the nonprofit or private sector where he can make a difference. There's a lot of goodwill toward Jeff in this town. But if he wants to seek elected office, I mean, that's up to him, but he really would need a pardon at this point.
But if Pastor were to get a pardon from Donald Trump, Gooden says being associated with Trump in liberal Cincinnati would make it difficult to get elected.